years and millions of dollars on a much-needed but costly connector to I-75. The problem is workers have yet to pour any pavement. Channel 2's John Bachman talked with opponents who say the state wants to spend an extra $100 million to save drivers 24 seconds. John.
Jovita, for decades, taxpayers have paid for the Department of Transportation to study and fight for in court a highway connector from Rome to Interstate 75. The goal, save commuters time. But, as you mentioned, for 30 years, it's cost a lot of money and no road is in sight. It's a 30-year fight involving this road, a powerful family, and accusations that the state is wasting millions of your tax dollars to save drivers 24 seconds. Right now, to get from Rome to Atlanta on I-75, drivers have to make a frustrating zigzag through Cartersville.
Everybody wants the easiest route, especially us as drivers. We out here, we're asphalt cowboys, you know.
I think there is a definite need for it.
For 30 years, the state has tried to fix the problem.
There's a lot of manufacturing there, certainly lots of citizens that commute back and forth.
By proposing this route, known as the 411 connector. But here's the holdup, this beautiful tract of land near 75.
Where the proposed 411 connector is going is, if you look into the woods, you'll see right at the south end of our lake, you'll see some ribbons. That's the edge of the right-of-way.
Thorne Winter represents the Rollins family, which owns 1,800 acres here. They've spent decades fighting the state in court to keep the road off their property.
The biggest argument is the proposed route costs over $100 million more than a reasonable alternative to gain only 24 seconds.
The family says the alternate route was the original route, seen here in blue, north of their property, which they say takes 24 seconds longer to drive. The Rollins family has a relatively new and unlikely ally in the fight, a former DOT board member who once wanted the proposed route and now says there's a better way.
The need is certainly there.
For years, David Doss fought for the 411 connector. He still wants a faster route to 75, but says the current $200 million project isn't realistic.
How best is the way to spend our limited resources that we have for road construction? Is it on more studies? Is it on more litigation? Or is it finding a route that we can afford and build, and let's start putting down some asphalt?
So why does the DOT continue down this road? Well, it has to do with more money. If the state does not exhaust all possibilities with this route, the federal government could force it to pay back millions the feds spent studying the project.
Well, that's certainly one thing. It's there, and it has to be factored in. It has to be considered, because it would be money that we would have to take away from other road projects throughout the state.
So the state isn't backing down, and neither is the family.
We will not stop fighting this particular route. In no way are we against building the road, but we think the road needs to be put in a location that's a lot less money and will save taxpayers money.
The Rollins family is also fighting the state on historical and environmental grounds. There's a wildlife bird refuge on their land and a historic magnesium mine as well.
And John, come on now. This is 30 years already. When can this end? Like, how much more do you have to go through to end this thing?
No one would say for sure, Jovita, but the DOT spokesperson that you saw in the story there, Jill Goldberg, did say that there could be some kind of resolution in the next year or so. We will stay on top of this, of course, and let you know what happens.
And Rome is such a great town. Let's get them some asphalt.